How the heck are you doing, Power Director peeps? Thank you for joining me for today's live stream. I appreciate you guys for checking in on your boy and coming to see all of the newness that went down with the PowerDirector app for April. So let me start off by giving you a quick summary on how things is about to go down. Because it is about to go down. Believe this, believe this, believe this. So Cyberlink went ahead and updated the PowerDirector, can I say it right, people? PowerDirector app. I think I can say that if I try hard enough. So Cyberlink went ahead and updated the app, and that was on April 29th. Now, I am going to say this. They made a video about updating the app, but I haven't seen all of the updates, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Now, to make sure that you're aware of all of the fantastical newness, we're going to go through those updates with you to make sure that you know what's new. All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and give you my opinion of everything. Then after that, I'm going to also talk about some of the new updates that you guys want to see. Some of the things that haven't happened, but the things that you want Cyberlink to add to the PowerDirector app. So while we're having this chit chat and talking about everything, I want you guys to go ahead and feel free to leave comments in the chat about what you want to see in the next iteration of PowerDirector. And then I'm also going to talk a little bit about a poll that I did asking you guys about what you want to see. And I'm going to go through the results of that poll. Now, after I'm done going through all of the rigmarole, then I'm going to go ahead and go through the chat, see what's going down, see how you guys are feeling, say what's up to some people, and, you know, mingle. Just mix and mingle. I'm going to mix and mingle with the community because that's what I do well. I mix and mingle. I'm such a sociable person. Yeah. Okay, so before we get started, I want to see if anybody's in the chat right now, and if they are, give them a few shout outs. So let's see what's going down in the chat right now. See what I got. Nothing going down in the chat right now, so I'm going to just go back into the meat of what we got going on today. So, oh, I do got one person in the chat. One person from UK who I see on a regular basis. Yes. Oh, come on now, people. How I get this wrong right now? How did I get this wrong? Let me fix this up real quick. Apologize. Here. All right, let's fix this. There we go. See if that gets it done. See if we can get this correct, people. There it is. Peter J. Milner is in the building from the UK. He said, I've said it many times, I need color director and audio director for Android. Yes. Look, they got photo director already, right? Let me tell you right now, I love the photo director app for Cyberlink. It is on Pizzoint. It is great. It has a lot of great features on it, and I'm definitely feeling it. If they were to add color director and audio director, and then even more, if they were to integrate the two, I don't even know what to say. It would be juiciness, okay? Film editing juiciness. I would just love it, all right? Thanks, Peter J. Milner. Appreciate that. Red Hot Reactions is in the building. He said, thanks for today's show. You're welcome, Red Hot Reactions. Thank you. I love that logo, man. That face gets me every freaking time. I love it. All right. We got SB Promo Vids. They have tuned in from the UK. Loving all my UK love. United Kingdom in the building. Thank you for stopping through. SB Promo Vids. And we got Hitachi Shukla. Says, hey. Hi, what's going on, Hitachi? Thank you so much for joining me again for another one of these beautiful live streams. The family is in the building, okay? The mobile PowerDirector app family is strong in this live stream right now. We got Red Hot Reactions. We got SB Promo Vids. We got Peter J. Milner. We got Hitachi. The people are here, okay? The people I know and love are in the building. And if anybody else is in the building, they want to stop through, please feel free to join us. Now, I'm going to just say this one more time. I already got a response from Peter J. Milner, who said that he wants to see audio director and color director added as apps so that we can go ahead and use those with PowerDirector. So if there are any other suggestions, anything that you guys want to see in the next iteration or the next version of the app, make sure you leave that stuff in the chat and I'll come back to it and give you all of that goodness. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the update. So to be truthful with you guys, this was a pretty lackluster update this time. Okay, in my opinion, there really wasn't much to it. Now, like I said earlier, I think maybe there's something going on with the update, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But based on the video that came out about the latest updates for the PowerDirector app, you can now produce your video straight to Instagram and TikTok. So if you go to the produce section here, you see here that there's an option for share on Instagram. Now, I do not have an option to share on TikTok. And if I go to more output options, it doesn't give you anything for TikTok or anything like that. It's just really about your external drives that you can export to. So there is nothing on here about TikTok. It does have Instagram, but nothing else. So if you're going to need to upload directly to Instagram, this is pretty big. It's a good thing. There's a lot of stuff going on right now with Instagram. Besides Instagram Reels, they also are starting to work on what's called an Instagram Marketplace, which allows you to like contact brands, and you can do post or reels or stories about certain brands, and they will go ahead and pay you. So if Instagram is creating that connection between the creators and the brands, having this ability to upload directly to Instagram is going to be pretty cool. Even without having a brand contract or anything like that, just being able to upload directly to Instagram could be something that would be useful. Now, the thing I was getting at earlier was it's in the video, it said that you can upload to TikTok as well. I don't see that option on here. Now, also, if I go ahead and go to the App Store and I pull up PowerDirector on here, it says here that the latest update was April 1st. And I've been going back in here and refreshing this and seeing what's up. It has not changed to April 29th as the latest update. So if the latest update was really April 1st, then I guess the option to share to Instagram was always there. I just never really paid that much attention to it because I don't use it a lot. Probably was already there. I'm waiting to see when am I going to get this updated version on my device. If you got a video that comes out, 3 days ago that says the app is updated, should be updated. It's not updated according to the Google Play Store. So we'll just have to see what's up with that, people. All right. So what do you think so far? Are you going to be using like the Instagram upload? Are you going to use TikTok uploads? Let me know in the chat if you're going to use either one of those. If you put videos on Instagram or if you put videos on TikTok, what kind of videos do you put on Instagram and TikTok? What is your niche? How are you connecting to your community using those different social media platforms? Let me know all of that stuff in the chat section. Now, really, for the first time that I can remember, there aren't really any good feature or content updates this month. So I kind of feel like Cyberlink gypped me. Okay, I feel gypped. Now, this is just me. You may love being able to upload to Instagram and TikTok. And if that's the case, you probably feel like, hey, this adds a lot of value for me. So that's why I say I feel like I've been gypped, because there could be a lot of people out there like, man, forget you, boy. I love it, boy, but I don't love it. Okay. If you ask me, we should get different free content every month. New features like new places to upload is cool. Don't get it twisted. But I want some free content. I want some more. I want some templates maybe that I can use for stuff. I'd like more transitions, more more filters, more titles, all of that stuff. Now, I feel like I pay for a subscription. So if I'm paying monthly for something, I should be getting some new value every month, right? If I pay for a subscription, I should be either supporting something that I want. And if I just want to, hey, support Cyberlink, and you don't care about those things, but you want to support them, then that's cool too. Go ahead and pay your subscription. Support them through just giving to them every month. That's an option. Some people might just be doing it for that reason. For me, because this is a product, I would like to see some return, some tangible return by adding new features that are useful to me. And if the feature isn't useful to me, then at least I will get some content that I might use, like some transitions or titles or something. But I got none of that. Zero. Now, some of you might be like, hey, Malik, lighten up. Okay, lighten up, brother. You can go ahead and upload to Instagram and TikTok. So lighten up, shut up, Malik, and move on with life. And I say, yes, I did get those things. And once the TikTok thing shows up, I guess, then maybe I'll use that. Maybe I won't. But too bad I don't use those options. So it is what it is. That's just my opinion of the situation. That's how I get down. So tell me in the chat, once again, what are your thoughts on the updates? What are the things you want to see, haven't seen, all of that goodness? Now, like I said, not much of a big deal this month. I want to check back in on the chat and see what's going down. And then after I check back in on the chat, I want to go ahead and talk about a poll that I created on YouTube and what the results of that poll were. So let's see what's going on in the chat real quickums. Peter J. Milner said, I have some really overexposed video which I need to fix in PowerDirector. So if you got some overexposed video that you need to fix, have you gone to the adjustments section and tried to mess with the contrast and brightness? Have you messed with those to see how it comes out? What can you do with that? So if I were to bring this back up, let's see here. So if I tap on this video here, if I go to adjustment, you might want to use your contrast to try to mess with the exposure a little bit. See how that works out for you. If you go up, down, see how it affects it differently. There's not really too many great things that you can do for overexposed video. You could try to bring down the brightness some with it, see how that impacts it. But if you do that, it's going to kind of impact the overall picture. So you might be able to play with these different adjustments to see if you can bring it back. But it's really hard from a perspective of color grading. Like you said, PowerDirector probably will be able to go ahead and knock that out real quick, especially if you're using like a gray card during the recording. Like what I like to do is I like to use a gray card, or I actually have like a color card. I think it's called Color Right. Can't remember what type of card it is, but a color card that you can use and you hold it up, or have your subject kind of hold it up on the gray card side. Then you got a white balance side on the other side, so you can use both of those just in case you need to go ahead and make some adjustments to the clip. Unfortunately, you don't have the tools for that in the PowerDirector app. So like you said, Peter J. Milner, it would be great with PowerDirector, but right now you're kind of limited in your tools that you can use to help with that. So let's see what else we got on here. Takshi says, happy to see you after a really long time. Yeah, man, it's been a month. You know, I do these once a month. So other than that, you will still see tutorials every Tuesday. So sometimes you'll see me in a tutorial, sometimes not. I kind of mix it up whether or not I'm going to be in the beginning, just kind of, have a video of me or not. Really depends on how I'm feeling that day and what I want to do. Let's see here. So Peter J. Milner asks, can I do a tutorial on dealing with overexposed video, please? So I do have a tutorial request form in every one of my videos. So if you go and click on show more at the bottom of that, then you will have the option to, if you look for the link, there's a link that has the tutorial request form. So you can add your request there. Now, the reason why I'm not saying yes or no to your question is because, first and foremost, I like to look through the request that I have and see how popular the request is, how many people want to see something like that. Sometimes it's not a lot of people. Sometimes it is. It is what it is. Then also, there's like hundreds of requests in that form ahead of you. So I can't really commit to doing a tutorial on something that I might not do in months. Man, it might even be like a year before I do it. Who knows? But the best way to go ahead and get your request in is to use that link and get on the list. Because if you're not on the list, then I don't really consider it. I think it's only fair to consider things in the order that they were received and not jump around and skip around and stuff like that. Now, also, there's no guarantee that I will make the tutorial. It's just on the list. I still have to do other factors to consider whether or not I'm going to do it. So get on the list, my brethren. So Red Hot Reaction says, I usually just save to the device and then post to wherever. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny. Like some people prefer to just save it on a device. That's the way that I do it. I save it on a device and then I go to the site or the platform and I go ahead and upload it that way. I just think that I get more options when I do it that way. I think there's less options when you do it in the tool or in PowerDirector. And then afterwards, you end up having to go back and tweak things and adjust things anyway. So why not just, do it one time? That's the way I look at it. So, all right. Yes, Hitachi. This is Hitachi's #1 beef with the program. Speed on the layer tab. Yeah, it's not there. I mean, we talk about this on a regular basis. I mean, I'm pretty sure by now you probably already sent that request to Cyberlink. And with that, we're going to talk a little bit about sending those requests and what I've learned about what they've done with some of those requests. So just make sure if you haven't sent it, which I'm pretty sure you have, send it through the app and then we'll go ahead and get it. SB Promo Vids wants to see a histogram for color grading. Yes, that would be freaking awesome. Especially I love the histogram. So we just talked about the image being overexposed, right? So if you have a histogram, you can go ahead and use that to really see your shadows, your highs, your mids. You can go ahead, especially if you use a gray card, you can go ahead and focus in on that part of the image that has the gray card, and you can get your video exposed correctly every single time by using that gray card. It is dope. So if they did have a histogram like that, it would be freaking awesome, because if you can use that, there would be no issues with your image being overexposed or underexposed for that matter. Oh yeah, so a Red Hot Reaction says, has anyone experienced when keyframes shift positions and speed after a while during editing? I have not seen that. I did have someone, and this wasn't with the app, this was with the PC version. Someone else told me that they added a bunch of keyframes and then they were all there, and then when they went back in to adjust the keyframes, they were gone. But that was with PC, that wasn't with the app. But to answer your question, I have not experienced the keyframes moving around after the fact. But if that's happening, make sure that, once again, you're reporting that using the app. All right. So for those of you who don't remember how to report things with the app, I'm going to show you again. Just go home, go down to the bottom, go to settings. Then you go here and it says FAQ and sends feedback. Tap on that. The frequently asked questions will pop up at the bottom tap on send feedback. And then you can go ahead and send feedback. You can add a screenshot. You can include your email so that they get back with you, all of that good stuff. Then you want to tap on the check mark, and it'll go ahead and say, are you sure? Then you can go ahead and send it. So for those of you who don't remember, that's how you send the feedback directly to PowerDirector. And of course, keep asking me questions, because if I got the answer, then I'll just give it to you. You don't got to worry about, sending them feedback. But it never hurts to go ahead and send them the feedback, because, you paying for it. Shoot, they better be helping you. Let's see. Yep, there's no exposure option in the adjust section. That's correct. And even if there was, you wouldn't be able to really measure it without like someone else said, a histogram. So it's not really useful. All you can do is just take advantage of the controls that are there and try to use those in order to see how much you can fix the exposure. Otherwise, there's not much you can do. So Hitachi asked me if I'm using a webcam or a DSLR. So I'm using a DSLR to do my live streams. So there you go. Just, really get some DSLR love to me in the game. I'm using a Canon EOS RP. So this was like the lower end version of the EOS R when it first came out. And I know, yeah, they got the R5 and the R6. I'm not one of them dudes that jump all over the next camera every 5 minutes. But when I do find something that works, I roll with it. I hold on to it. I don't see any reason to upgrade from this RP. This is totally dedicated to live streams. I never take it out of this setup. It always just sits here, and it works freaking fantastic. So I love it. Hopefully you guys like the image. Hopefully you guys like the look that I created with it. So if you guys like the image and the look that you're getting from this DSLR, or not even DSLR, it's a mirrorless camera. Let's not get it twisted. It's a mirrorless camera, the Canon EOS RP. Let me know how you feel about it in the comments. All right, let's see what else we got. All right, so that's all we got so far. So let me go on to my next topic, okay? So I created a poll on my channel a while back, and I asked, what do you guys want to see as far as the next version of PowerDirector? And these are the responses that I got. So I asked, what features do you want to see in the next app update? So custom mask got 47%. Export audio got 11%. Effect keyframes got 34%. And snapshot freeze frame got 9%. So let's kind of talk about these. So custom mask. So custom mask, you really need like vertex points that you can go ahead and tap on the video to pick and choose like what you want to keep. So like if it was like a person and you wanted to mask that person out, and you can just tap around them. Like if I'm tapping on myself, I could just tap around my shoulders and select what I want to keep in the frame, to just kind of cut myself out, and all the background behind me will be gone. And that might be a custom mask that you might want. Or if you just wanted to get the microphone, then you might use those vertex points to go ahead and select the microphone, and then remove the background. And then with that custom mask, as the video keeps going, you can adjust the video, the vertex points, to make it stay on just that object. So if I moved over here or moved over there, then it would still just be a video of just me moving to these different places. So a lot of people are asking for that. I would think that that's something that would be that they'd be capable of doing. It's kind of complex too in my mind. When I think about it, I kind of like, right now when you use your finger to tap on stuff, a lot of you guys know, using sliders and stuff like that, any little bit of a movement really is captured by the program. So you have to be really careful about choosing your points that you want to go ahead and use for your mask, or there might be a lot of adjustments going on. Okay, that's one thing that I think about. Another thing is right now there's already an issue with like how many layers you can have. So based on what type of device you have, they might not be able to have custom mask at all, because that takes a lot of processing power to go ahead and, first of all, cut it out, and then secondly, really recreate the video where it's following and animate wherever the person is moving and move those vertex points with that person. So lots of processing power, but definitely something that could be capable. Once again, if that's something that you want, just make sure that you add that to the feedback section in the app. So second place was effect keyframes. So effect keyframes, I think that would be very possible at this point. We already have effects, so those effects are already added, and so whatever processing power is being used is already being applied. Adding keyframes is not going to add anything to that. It's just adjusting it down based on what you're doing with the effect, right? So I think that would be something that could be easily achieved within the program. We already have keyframes for transform keyframes for going ahead and moving things around, changing the scale, rotating. So I think it would be something that would be easily done with effects. So hopefully they can do that in the future. Third place was export audio. So I would love for them to have the option just to export the audio. That's something that I think is very useful. So if you bring in a clip of something and you just want the audio from that clip, right now you can't do it. You have to produce it as a video. So if they have the option to export to a AAC wave file, that would be awesome. I think that a lot of people would like that too. Podcasters, whatever the heck, right? That would be a good option. And in last place was snapshot freeze frame, which was 9%. So right now, if you want to have like a snapshot or a freeze frame, you actually have to use your phone or your tablet to go ahead and do a full screenshot and then crop it so that it's just what you want from the app. So the cool thing is that PowerDirector or Cyberlink, I guess, got a lot of feedback on not having that option. And from what I understand, I was watching a video of the latest updates, and someone made a comment that, hey, we need to have, a freeze frame, just like in the PC version. And Cyberlink replied to that and said that is something that they're working on doing now. So hopefully in the next few updates to the PowerDirector app, we will have snapshots or freeze frames directly in the program, so that instead of having to do a snapshot, cropping it and then saving it in a photo editor, all you have to do is do a snapshot within PowerDirector, and it will just do a snapshot of that frame, and hopefully it will automatically place it into one of the accessible folders for photos, like PhotoDirector or PowerDirector images, whatever. But if that could just be a one-step process, that would save a lot of time for people, and a lot of people were asking for that. So I'm assuming that they use the send feedback function, as well as probably like comments on videos and things like that. But it seems like Cyberlink is listening. So when we're making these requests for things, it may not happen like automatically, because I think they've been asking for this like forever. This app's been around for a long time, but at least they are listening and they're implementing the things that we're asking for. So if you look, you will see that option is available now, and that is good news. Okay. So when I go through some of these comments here, there were some other good things that were also like, maybe they weren't the top 4 choices that I put, because these are things that I thought of, but people gave some comments to some additional things that they wanted to see. Like Mark's Relaxing Music said, apply transitions to all transitions instead of one at a time, especially when doing a slideshow. So yeah, that would be a big one right there. Like right now you have to drag your transition to every single transition box that is in your timeline. It might even be good too for them to add transitions to the overlay tracks. Because right now, overlay tracks don't have transitions. So maybe you want to have that there too. So a lot of options for either applying transitions to all or applying a transition to the overlay track. I think I like both of those ideas there. And look who was in here, Peter J. Milner. And guess what he asked for? The same thing he asked for today, which is awesome. He's very consistent, very consistent. So Peter J. Milner wants audio director and color director for Android. Those are his top two must-haves at the moment, right? Of course, he can change his opinion at any time, okay? Also, he'd like support for native 422 10-bit S-Log 3 in the MP4 format. So I think color director and audio director probably are going to be options soon. I don't see why they wouldn't be working on it. They're having success with PowerDirector app and the Photo Director app. So why not add those to the mix? I think those are going to come one day. I don't know when, but I think they're going to come. Now, the native 422 10-bit S-Log 3, I don't know, my brother. I don't know. That's a hard one. I'm just giving you my opinion. In my opinion, they're really focused on people who are creating videos with their phone, right? So with that being the case, I think that their formatting is going to be in line with what types of formats you're going to get off of a smartphone, rather than the type of format that you might get off of a camera or a mirrorless camera or DSLR or a cinema camera. So with that being the case, I don't know if they're going to be doing anything with any type of log profiles or 422 10-bit. Unless phones start making 422 10-bit files, like, then I think they'll go ahead and do that. But that's just my opinion. I don't know what they're going to do. At the end of the day, we'll see. Then we got MCP Tech said custom mask, right? So we already talked about that one. Oh, XV, and I don't know what the rest of that is. I'm sorry, I don't understand the language. But Roto Brush. So Roto Brush would be pretty dope. Once again, I don't know how if it's going to be something that they're going to focus on doing because of the processing power necessary to do it. We'll see. HVAC time. Have video track generate audio waveform on mobile without having to create a separate audio track. Yeah, so right now, like, if you can see, let me bring this up. No, come on, people. Weird. Okay, I got it. I got it, people. Give me a second here. So if you're looking at the app right now, you can see that this first track that I have here is my main track, but you can't see the audio waveform here. So what he's asking for is like, hey, why not just create it so the audio waveform is visible in here in some type of way, shape, or form? Maybe it would be underneath it. Maybe it would just be right in the middle of it. I don't know, but it's not visible. Now, what I did was, you can see here at the bottom, this last track here, it says demo.mp4. This is the actual audio from that. And the way that I did that was, let me go ahead and delete it. I wanted to have the audio on a separate track. So I went ahead and went to the media room. I went to where that video was. And instead of just tapping it, I dragged it. I dragged it to an audio track and I let it go. And so now I can see the waveform for that audio. So that's what I had to do in order to see the audio waveform of my main video, because I needed to use it to do something, right? And if you watch my channel, then you'll see the tutorial on this very, very soon. But anyway, that's how you have to do it right now. And what he's asking is that, hey, let's just go ahead and basically just put the waveform in the main track so I can see it. So that would be dope. It would also be the same thing like if you do it on overlay tracks. That would be great. So that's HVAC time. That's what he wanted. And then the man from Volantis said pinning, locking items on the timeline so they don't move when you add a new item before them. So, yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly. It's available in every other like regular editing program. You can lock your tracks so that things don't move. You can unlock them, all of that good stuff. And everything shouldn't, I think that they try to make it whereas, you know, hey, if you're putting a video there, you probably want to move everything over. And that's not always the case. You don't always want to move everything over. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But you should have the option to lock things so that if you don't want everything to move over, that they stay when you go ahead and add other stuff to your timelines. So these were all the comments that I got. I got 14 comments on this one, 47 votes. So, you know, we got a few thousand subscribers on this channel. So hopefully we get a little bit more participation next time in the next poll, but there will be another poll coming out soon. So keep your eyes peeled so you can see what's what. All right. So let's see what else is going on here in the chat-a-lat-lat. All right, Peter J. Milner said, the look is great. It doesn't need changing. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Gen Z Castro said, hello, sir. Good morning. Why you became so elegant here in YouTube? What's the effect you use? Elegant. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know. I don't know what you mean by how did I become so elegant here in YouTube and what's the effect that I use. I'm not using an effect right now. Not using anything, just knowing how to really create your shot, set up your shot, how to compose your shot. So I'll tell you what I'm doing right now, what I did to create this look. So first off, the program that I use for live streaming is called vMix. And within vMix, I have the option to really update the exposure. I have options to update the look. So as my camera is recording, I can go into a certain section on vMix and I pull up the look and I can make adjustments based on my lighting. So my lighting is like 5500 Kelvin. So I can match that in the program, right? To make sure that my lighting is correct. But you have to know what your lighting Kelvin is. You have to have lights that you can go ahead and dial in to that particular Kelvin amount and then have a program or what have you to be able to make sure that your white balance, that you can change the white balance to match that Kelvin. So I matched up the white balance. I made sure that I had my gray card out and I use that to measure the exposure so I can do that with vMix. And so basically using those tools and using the correct tools on my camera itself to get locked into how I want it to be locked in, I was able to create this look that you have before you. So also the lighting. So you can see I have like less light on this side. It's a little bit darker, making some more depth here with the shadows on this side. Whereas on this side, I've got a lot more light coming through. The light's closer. The light's more in my face. And the light that I have on this side, it's kind of pointed past me a little bit, creating more capability of me having more shadows on it. And it's blocked off, right? So creating that kind of, let's see that V here. You see like a V in this area. So it's what you're supposed to do. Things that, you know, you learn through trial and error. Also, you can look up a lot of this stuff on YouTube and learn about it too. So that's how I created the look. Just basically knowing what I wanted, how I wanted to compose my shot, and knowing how to dial in the settings on my camera and using my software to get it to hit the target that I want. So So Peter J. Milner said, I would also like to see support. Yeah, I just talked about that one. Yes, sir. Kind of had a conversation on that one. I'm not going to go into that again. I saw those comments on your on the poll that I put out there. He says that he would also like support for LUTs, particularly the Phantom LUT or equivalent for the A7S3. Yep. So right now, PowerDirector app doesn't have LUTs. It has filters. And I kind of talked through that before, and I'll do it again just to keep you guys up on point with that. So if you tap on a video clip, you can go ahead and go to filter. And if you go to filter, there's a bunch of different filters down here. They're not really LUTs per se. They create different looks, and that's really what LUTs do too. They create different looks based on the underlying video that you have or photo that you have. You're just putting a filter on top of it or a lookup table on top of it with certain color settings, and then it dials in a specific look for that video. Now, to Peter J. Milner's point, there are LUTs that are made specifically for, like, hey, if you have like a S-Log, S-Log is S-Log. If you're using S-Log and you got everything else dialed in right, your exposure set, everything is right, then basically if you put a LUT that's made for S-Logs on top of it, it's going to create the same look across the spectrum. But if you're not dialed in correctly, your exposure's off or your white balance is off, and you pick and you have a LUT for S-Log3, it might not look right. So, you know, it's all about doing all of the steps you need to do to make those looks right. But to his point, there aren't any LUTs really in PowerDirector. There's just filters right now. And these different filters create different looks. And you see if I apply them to the video, they're going to look different. They're going to create all kind of things and have a brother looking crazy like Aurora Borealis. I don't know what's going on there. But at the end of the day, that's what they have right now. They have filters, not LUTs. So we'll see if they decide to go ahead and update that. And Peter J. Milner said he would like to also have audio above 100%. So if a voice is quiet, you can increase the volume from 100% upwards. Yeah, that is kind of strange that they don't have that option there. You should be able to go past 100% because, like he said, sometimes voices are not loud. But just keep in mind, if you have like your noise floor is audible, if you raise your volume, you're going to be raising the noise, background noise as well. So you may need to apply some background noise correction or remove some background noise. And there is that ability within the PowerDirector app to remove background noise. So might need to do that if you're going to be able to raise it above 100. But I do think that that option should be there, and kind of limiting that it's not there. But once again, I'm going to go back to learning from your mistakes. And we've all made mistakes like this before. Like if your audio is too low, then look back and say, okay, what did I do? What didn't I do to make sure that my audio was correct? And then next time in your pre-production, make sure that you got your audio levels where they need to be, right? Then when you start producing, make sure that you're monitoring your audio to make sure that it's not too low. And if it is too low, then make the tweaks during the production. Then you don't got to worry about doing stuff in post-production. That's the big thing, right? To me, the way that I've learned from mistakes that I've made, many mistakes over the years, and taking action on those mistakes, not making the same mistakes over and over again. We're all gonna screw up sometimes and make a mistake. Don't get it twisted. There's times when you might mess up your audio. You might know all the right things to do, and you still might make a mistake. So I'm not gonna act like I don't make any mistakes, because I still do. But for the most part, I learn from them. And pre-production and the production phases are the times when you take care to make sure that those mistakes don't happen. So having a shot list, a list of things that you need to do before you shoot, a list of how you're going to set up your scene, the list of the steps you want to take before. I mean, it's a process. You just don't go in. You shouldn't just go in there and press record and start going. You should have a plan, right? So that's me. That's how I get down. So SB Promo Vid says rotate. The option to rotate freely a few degrees to straighten the horizon. You can only rotate 90 degrees at a time. So you can rotate freely. So you may not be aware of that, but let's just say that, let's say I'm going to tap on this. Oh, let me bring it back on screen first. So if I tap on this clip that I'm working on, I can go ahead and go to, let's see. Okay. All right. Unfortunately, it has to be on your overlay track. So let's just do this. It's always something, man. It's always something. So I want to go to overlay. I go to this video here. I'm going to add it. So if I tap on that video and I go to transform keyframe, then I can go ahead and rotate it whatever I want. I can just go here and just rotate it. It's not 90 degrees. I can rotate it 1 degree, 2 degrees, whatever. Okay. The key is making sure that you keep your scale the same and your X and Y position should stay the same based on where you have it at. But right now my scale is not right, so I need to bring it back up to 1. Right? Or I could bring it down. So just make sure that you're keeping these things where they need to be when you're making these adjustments. So you can rotate it however you like, but you just got to be in the right setting here. See, but if you use this rotate option that you're talking about, yeah, only does it like that. So that's what he was referring to. But for me, I'm just going to go ahead and put it on the overlay track and then do it. And I might not, like, let's say I want to rotate this one. Well, then I might just drag it or add it to the overlay track, cut it and split it where I need to just rotate, because maybe I don't need to rotate the whole thing. But if I do need to rotate the horizon line, I could just add it to that track. So let's say I could just delete this one. I don't even have to have a main track. A lot of people always put stuff on the main track. You don't need to have anything on the main track. You can just go directly to the overlay track. You just got to make sure that you size it up. And now I'm good. See, I have nothing on my main track. My only video is on the overlay track. I can do that just fine. Now I have the options to do, so what you were talking about earlier, I can do speed from here. I can do transform keyframe and flip it. I don't have to have anything on the main track. Just because the main track is there doesn't mean that you have to use it. You just use your overlay tracks. And if you just use overlay tracks, you're going to have speed options on every clip. You're going to have the option to rotate it how much you want on every clip, yada, yada, yada. So just keep that in mind. Now, it would be great to have it on the main track, all those options. But sometimes you got to use workarounds. And the workaround for me, I just add the things to the overlay track and get what I want right then and there. So, all right. So SB Promo Vid says, Peter, you can use the audio mixer to lower all other channels and boost a single layer. Yeah, I mean, you can use them to turn off all the other ones, but what if that's the only option you have? What if that's the only layer you're using? It's not really going to boost anything. I'm going to have a tutorial in a few weeks. It's already uploaded in the can, ready to go, about audio ducking, which really just kind of addresses the audio mixing room issue that you just kind of talked about, where you can move volumes of different tracks lower or higher based on when an individual is speaking to help, like you said, boost the audio of that one track. So there'll be a tutorial on audio ducking coming soon. Yeah, so SB Promo Vid said, I want to copy and paste clip adjustment or filter settings to another clip. Yes. That right there. Yes. I would love to be able to do that. I mean, the copy and paste functionality is something that is definitely missing. It needs to be added. It will help speed up your workflow. At the end of the day, right now, you got to do things over and over again, and that kind of sucks, especially knowing that in the PC version, you can copy and paste effects, changes, rotation, all types of clip attributes. You can copy them and paste them to other clips. So it would be great if you could do that in the app too. And Peter J. Milton said, okay, one more. I would like support for the Insta360 1R in PowerDirector for Android. Yeah. Once again, that'd be pretty dope to have that. Right now, I mean, there's no 360 options at all. So having that would be pretty cool. Once again, I'm going to kind of revert back to what I said earlier. I think that they're not really focusing on bringing in codecs and formats and files from other types of cameras. I don't think that that's something that they're really focused on doing. I think that they're focused on phones, recording with a phone. If you're recording with a phone or a tablet, they like, hey, we're going to deal with those types of videos and formats. So if you're using other types of cameras and you're importing that footage to your device and then importing it into PowerDirector, you might be waiting a while before they start to support other cameras and things. I don't know if that's something that is, I guess, in their plan for the future or not. I'm just guessing when I say I don't think it's going to happen for a while, if it happens at all. I think that their strategic focus is on the growth of videos being created with your phone. I think that's their first priority, because that's blowing up. Like to the point of them adding Instagram and TikTok. People making TikTok videos all like crazy. So, I mean, if they're recording them with their phone, they can add all these edits and things and then go ahead and upload it directly. That's going to be a big for people who use those platforms. And when they're focusing on things like Instagram Reels and stories and stuff like that, you can tell that their main focus is really people who record with their phone. Even YouTube. A lot of people on YouTube are making most of their videos with their phone. It's crazy. I'm watching like videos out there about these people with millions of subscribers, and they're making their videos with their phones. So I think that's really the focus. I don't know if they're going to start focusing on other file formats and codecs or other camera profiles altogether to bring those into the program. We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's see. And this one, SB Promo Vids, talks about rotate, and I already kind of touched on that one. Main video track just rotates like a little bit at a time, 90 degrees, but if you put it into the overlay track, you can rotate it using the transform keyframe. You can have any rotation you want. And once again, just to reiterate, you don't have to add videos to the main track. You can, you don't have to. It's really up to you. Let's see. Looks like those are all of the comments that I got right now. Yes, sir. That's how it goes down right now. Let's see. All right. I think we're good right now, people. I don't got any more comments on here. I do got a comment. It says, also like to say speed on layer clips. Yep, that would be great. Be able to see that option. Right now, it's not there. So, and like you alluded to, if we go here, if we tap on the main track, you do have a speed option here. So you can change the speed there. Once again, if you go ahead and add something to an overlay track, and you tap on that. Right here, you do have speed, so you can change the speed on here too. So if you don't have speed on the layer tracks, then I don't know what to tell you. Could be an issue that you got going on. But right now, it is there. So if that's news, good. So let's see. We got main video track. We got speed. We got our options here. Change our speed. Got your slider. Let's go back. Overlay. Video. Let's find the video. We'll tap it, add it. Tap on that. And once again, here's your speed option. So you see that there, SB promo vids? Coming at you live, baby. Coming at you live. All right, let's get rid of this clip. All right. What else we got? Looks like it's a wrap, people. Looks like we got our chat conversation all caught up. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on today in this live stream. I appreciate you guys for stopping through. You know, we went through the poll results, went through a lot of the extra stuff you guys want to see in the program. I will remind you once again, use that send feedback option to Cyberlink. As we can see, they went ahead and added that the snapshot feature, or at least they will be adding the snapshot feature according to their comments on their video on YouTube. They said they will be adding the snapshot feature. So they took the feedback that we provided. Looks like they're going to be implementing that. So it's big news. Besides those results, we went over them, went through some of the comments in the chat, went through some of the comments in the poll. I think we had a really good conversation around what the app can do, can't do, what type of things we want to see in the app. It's all gravy. It's all love. So like I said before, be on the lookout for the next poll that's coming out. I think it's going to be very interesting for you guys to see, or for me too, to see what type of responses you guys are going to have on the next poll. Also, we got a few videos coming up. We got a video on jump cuts coming up. We got a video on audio ducking coming up. We got all kind of videos coming up on the channel. So stay tuned. Make sure that you are subscribed so that you can see those videos every Tuesday when they come out. So I just wanted to go ahead and thank you guys once again for joining me today. It has been a beautiful occasion as usual. Every time that I hook up with you guys on these live streams, I really enjoy being able to talk to the community, really have these conversations, and really get your feedback, and it really helps me really come up with new ideas for things. So it's greatly appreciated, guys. Once again, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel.